How do we open this thing?
I don't know. How do people normally open this thing? What could be a good open if that we always open with a can of something?
Like a drink?
Yeah, like a open.
Cold open?
Cold
okay,
open.
let me go get something. Let me
I
just
don't
go get
have one.
something.
Oh, I have Pepsi though. I'll go grab like the bottle.
Okay, give me a sec.
I'll get Red Bull next time.
I'm just gonna do let's just hope my cold open comes through the mic. Let's see. It came through on my end.
A little bit. Let's see mine.
What's your cold open? Oh my god, dude, that's so much Pepsi. Oh yeah, yep, yeah, I heard it. Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Fuck, dude. This is the nerve-wracking part of recording.
I know, it feels weird trying to record yourself.
It hurts in here. It hurts in here for some reason, you know. All right. Hey, dudes. Welcome to the first episode of Gaslighting Giggles. This may just never air. This may be our first episode. We'll see how it goes.
Who knows?
We're just gonna jump straight into the topics because we don't know what else to do for an intro. So do you wanna broach the first topic or is it on me?
I'd say you go first because I feel like mine's a little bit more in depth.
All right. So mine's like kind of current,
okay,
but kind of controversial.
Okay.
I don't know how much you've been keeping up with the space on YouTube.
We'll see.
But it's got nothing to do with YouTube actually. It's got to do with like world news.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about what happened with the Dalai Lama?
No, actually.
Oh my god. Okay. So the Dalai Lama is effectively getting cancelled at the moment.
Oh, right? Wait, is it that monk?
Yeah, he's a monk. It's the Dalai Lama, dude.
Okay. No, I think I know where you're. Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So he had a kid up on stage, right?
Yeah.
Tells this kid to fucking kiss him. Kid doesn't want to do it. So he grabs him by the chin like it's fucking,
the anime.
romance. Yeah, the anime chin grab. And then he kisses the kid on the lips, which is, ugh. All right, not your kid. Even if it was your kid, I still wouldn't do it. But then has the audacity to go, suck my tongue. Your jaw just dropped. Straight up went, suck my tongue. Hey, no, that doesn't stop there. He then literally sticks out his tongue and waits an uncomfortable amount of time. I mean, it felt like minutes, dude. And then tries to laugh it off because this kid is like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I've seen one post about someone ranting about how he keeps getting away with so many weird things and so many controversial hypocrisy type of things he does that goes against his beliefs or something. I don't know. But I think I've seen the headline of where he asks the kid to suck his tongue. And so I was like, I wonder what other people think about it. So I went to the comments and there was one.
I'm going to use someone else's opinion as my opinion. Go.
So everyone else, was on the same page as that's kind of not okay, right? Even though even if it's your kid, you don't just tell a kid to suck your tongue. Someone said, I think I'd be honored because he's, this great figure. And he tries.
I think I heard that.
They try to explain it in a way that it's an honorable.
If you're chosen to be abused by.
They were like, you are honored if you got a chance to go up there to be with them. And they explained. I think this person also explained that sticking your tongue out is a sign of respect. In the culture. Which is, I would,
bullshit.
Exactly. I was like,
bullshit.
I think you're just giving an excuse.
Yeah.
But during that time, right? I didn't want to obviously, I don't want to type in with internet fucking, what is it called? Internet trolls, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where you're from or anything, but if you say sticking your
Do you
tongue
not know
out,
who the Dalai Lama is?
no, I don't. I didn't know the name. If you show me the face, I would.
Okay.
You know.
Like you understand he's like
Yeah.
religious figure though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
I was afraid for a moment. I was like, I'm canceling this podcast right now.
Yeah. So when they said sticking your tongue out is a sign of respect, I go, okay, sure, sticking your tongue out in some culture might be a sign of respect, but asking someone to suck your tongue,
that's completely different, dude.
It's off that limit. So
just give me head
nah.
real quick as a sign of respect. Okay?
But it doesn't work like that. It's fucked up.
Sorry, my mouth is dry. That was my first topic of the week, though. Fucking Dalai Lama. I don't know how people gonna try and explain that shit away. Like,
how old
I guess
is
it's
he?
the same type of people. Oh man, he must be like 70. Like, he's old as shit, dude. He's old as time. Like,
I just like when I hear that, like even though it's a monk, you know, I always hear the stories of priests like M-wording kids, right? And I just always like it feels like it's a similar situation because
it
it's
just feels the same.
a figure of someone in a culture that someone else respects, you know, and they kind of abuse that power trip a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's like a religious figure.
Yeah.
It's just like a person of authority, right?
Exactly.
Just overstepping their bounds, and then
the kid obviously doesn't want to say like, no, you know, like because obviously when you say no to or like trying to argue with someone who's older than you, you kind of get ridiculed.
But here's the thing: like he ended up like posting an apology, right? It was barely an apology.
He didn't post it. Someone
else.
posted it for him.
Yeah, it said that Dalai Lama was sorry about the things that he did and apologized to the family and the kid, right?
Like, him.
Yeah, and I was like, that's number one. That's lazy. And some people are like, oh, you know,
it's even worse than the
English
YouTube apology videos.
Oh, way worse. It's not even. It's worse than when YouTubers will just write it on their iPhone notes
and post it
and post that. And you're like, at least just do it straight up on Twitter or tweet longer, and like far out. Yeah, but no, it was lazy, dude. Oh, far out. All right. Well, it's your turn then.
All right. Let's go a little bit of a lower down than controversial. It might be a little bit, but
All right.
So, what is the one country you never want to visit?
The one country I never want to visit, like, because I visited a country that I never want to visit. Shit, that's a hard one.
It is a hard one. There's this one country my dad told me to never visit ever.
Yeah, what is it?
And I think everyone knows what it is, what country it is. Because being
Saudi Arabia.
No, it's India. Because he does a lot of business trips there, and he's like, I never want you to go there ever. Yeah. And I do get, I do see some reviews of women single backpacking through countries or like travel, solo travel and shit, and they always say like, this is not good. Or there'll be one that I saw. I think that she said, I think there's a double standard or something going on. But she said that it's fun, it's fine, people are friendly, and I'm like, I think you were just in the good bits.
Probably the good bits.
Yeah.
Look, so the place I was going to say was India, right? Yeah. But it's because, like, I was going to say, is it somewhere I've already been there I wouldn't want to be again? Because I went to India when I was, like, 13 on, like, this family trip. And I saw, like, abject poverty there. Like, it was the poorest people I've ever seen, right? And some of it is, like, being impoverished as a business. Like they'll like get kids, chop off a limb, and then like make them beg for money.
Yeah.
But then they like cleaned up the streets. But what they did is they literally just like bulldozed all the slums, pushed them out to like the outskirts farther than they were, and then they just expanded into those regions. So I'm like, I'm never going back there again because I don't want to like support that type of industry. You know
I think we're seeing a lot more of those nowadays because the gap between the rich and poor is growing so much. Like you see so many pictures of cities where it's like very nice neighborhoods, and then like across the river or across one wall, it's quite literally a
just slums. Yeah.
Like I get that there's like countries like India. I know that there's cities or like places that are like phenomenal, right? It's nothing like what the movie projects or anything, but still like it's still
Yeah, I
only
think
it's
it's
still
kind of
only like
tough.
10% of the country type thing.
Yeah, it's a big place, right? But I think there's also the thing of like the movies, especially Bollywood movies, will like always portray like the really good parts of India,
Yeah,
unless they're like meant to be like the
it's a
Western style.
marketing bit of
Yeah.
travel. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But like, man, like I remember when we were going in there, they had 7-star hotel.
What?
Not 7 stars. I can guarantee you. It's
Even
not
3-star hotels in Japan is like 5 stars in a lot of countries. It's
Well, their
fucking
7
weird.
stars is probably like 2 or 3 stars in Australia. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like that shit. It just doesn't match up. It's like the star system is just made up over there,
Yeah.
dude. Like it's just not. Yeah, I wouldn't go back there. But
You wouldn't go back
the other
there, and I
places,
don't think I wouldn't go.
nah.
I feel
But what
like.
about like? Do they have like? Hey, do you want to release your ethnicity to the people?
What do you
already?
mean
Or do
by
you-
that?
Well, some people just don't want people to know where they're from.
Oh,
But
no, that's fine.
like, do they have like those types of like full-on ghettos in Thailand?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot. It's not a lot when it's like less than before, obviously because of the cities. Like the bigger cities are now more developed,
Mm-hmm.
and so people like their kids that were sent to bigger cities to get education and work. They're now able to provide for their families a little bit better.
And like, yeah,
But
give money back.
like you still see quite a lot of people living in like the titanium or like metal roof, the squiggly metal roof. Let me find
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
corrugated. Yeah.
Yeah, like there are houses made from that.
Yeah,
It's just like
that's like India. Yeah.
just bits and bits, and it's just like it's sad, but then
Mm.
you just know you can't really do much because it's not like you're filthy rich. And like when we talk about filthy rich people, most of them have their like wealth in assets and things that
You mean
aren't
like property and stuff
yeah,
like that?
like things that
Yeah.
aren't like straight cash.
All right. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Me being from the island, my family being from Fiji, you being from Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
there's one thing that these places have in common:
Yeah.
coconuts.
Yeah.
Do you like the taste of coconut water?
Weird thing, right? Weird thing.
Right. Answer the question first.
I like it cold.
You like coconut water cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in frappes, like blended with ice. Yeah.
In frappe.
Yeah.
In a frappe, not frappes, dude.
I don't know. I don't say
Frappe,
these things
dude.
out loud.
Oh my god, dude.
Fuck.
Okay. This is how I know you learn English by reading a book instead of talking to people, dude.
Do you
It's fucking
see?
frappes, dude.
That's not even all of it. I don't have space for it.
I hope that's not all of it. That's shameful. That's it. But all right, I have a video for you to watch.
That thing is all over up here.
Oh, that's all books?
Yeah.
On the top? Oh, they can't see that yet.
Nah.
So, I'm going to just quickly switch some scenes up, but I've got something for you to
Okay.
react to. All right.
Coconuts, hey. I'm kind of scared now because I do like coconut. I like the meat.
Just
Do any of you guys like coconut water? I just thought of something right there. Do any of you guys like coconut water? Do you like coconut water?
I feel you're deflecting.
Huh?
I feel you're deflecting.
I have a question to ask after it. That will be very interesting, I think. Do you like coconut water?
I don't not like it.
Okay. Do you like coconut water?
I do. I kind of like it. Yeah.
You kind of like it? Do you like it?
I don't think I've tried it.
Okay. Do you know what coconut water tastes like?
Coconuts.
Cum.
Does it?
Swear to God.
I knew that's why.
Swear
Wait,
to
no.
God.
That's
Swear
I
to
don't like
God.
it.
It's I only drink it for hydration. Just remembered it looking at it there. I hate cum, but you liked it. So you like
Whoa.
cum
You hate cum, but you sat there with a bottle of it.
because it's really hydrating. So drink
So it's
it.
cum.
Like
So it's cum.
like the taste. You said you didn't like it, right? Straight.
Yeah.
You're
I've
indifferent.
never tasted cum.
You've never tasted cum. Well, you
Surely
taste
there's
coconut water.
Surely there's one gay person that doesn't like the taste of cum.
I don't think it tastes that much like coconut. No, yeah,
whoa. What are you trying to say here, Stickie?
To me, it
you just
doesn't.
outed yourself.
Yeah. To me, it doesn't taste like coconut water because it has a little bit more of a like the taste in that lingers at the back of your throat.
Damn, dude. It's just because it hits me right here every time. It's just.
like.
God
I don't know.
damn, dude.
It's a taste that is not like anything you can compare it to. I'd say.
Far out.
That's a similar comparison, I guess. Only for people who done it too much.
I get it back here, so it tastes different. You finally clicked, huh? It finally clicked for you. It's the delivery of it. If I got it here, it might taste the same. Maybe if I got it all over here, it tastes the same. Because it's hitting me in the back of the throat. It's different, Doesn't even hit the sugar on my tongue,
Shut the fuck up! Moving on!
That's our first clip, homie. It only took one podcast for you to be like, I get fucked in the back of the throat. Oh, dude. At least you can show your partner this and be like, kudos to you. Far out. What's your turn for a topic?
Okay.
Oh no, she's shy. Oh no, what's happened?
Anyways,
just stun locked. All right.
You've given advice before, right? Your friends ask you for advice and shit.
Yeah.
Right? You try sometimes you don't know what it's like, but you try to be the best of friends you can, and then you give your advice, right?
You trying to save yourself,
right?
Just from what happened.
You're just trying to help, right? You're trying your best to help.
Yeah. You're just trying to give advice without any grounding. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not talking from personal experience, then I'm assuming. No. Okay, you're just giving an opinion. Yeah.
So, what's the worst advice you've ever given?
The worst advice
that they know
given.
or you've never told anyone. This be
probably when I was like first year uni, telling my younger cousins and stuff to go to uni, and me now going probably not worth it because I graduated in 2014. It's now 2023, and I feel like I barely ever use my degree.
You graduated. You graduated 2013.
2014.
I was
5 years.
I was still in middle school.
Let's not talk about that.
I was.
All right, but here's the thing, though.
What's the advice?
When I was going into uni, everyone, all of our teachers and everything, they were telling us, these industries are in demand. University were telling us these industries are in demand. They're good paying. Da 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 da. So go in for these degrees, and one of those, for me, I did the medical sciences, right? But I never ended up becoming a doctor because I'm trash. But my friends, some of them went and did engineering. They graduated, no jobs. You know why? Because they got told at the same time, everyone's there's so many jobs. So they have fucking 20,000 people apply for engineering across the country when there's probably only 5,000 jobs.
Yeah.
So when they graduate, what are they going to do? There's nothing for them, So I would say, now be way more selective if you want to go to uni.
I feel
at least in Australia, it's not so bad.
I feel like you don't even need in Australia. You don't even need an actual degree if you go to TAFE just to get some certificates of, some
and just work
things.
your way up.
You can always work your way up. Yeah, it's a lot more easier here if you have some relevant certificates. Guess what? I have a fucking bachelor of bioscience, but I don't have sometimes they require manual drivings, driving 4-wheel drives and stuff, and other certificates of like conservation and any specific
They
things.
want you to have certificates of conservation science, and you already have an environmental science.
It's more like a certificate of a specific skill that they want.
You'd think they'd just put that.
I know, right? Like you would have
3 years.
You would have thought that uni's going 3 years. Here's everything you need, but no.
Yeah.
You just get a fucking paper saying you have a fucking degree.
And spend how much money doing that shit, you know?
Exactly.
I'd say I loved uni for like the social experience.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, I do.
that was the most fun part. I like my best friend is from uni. You know, like I spent most of my fun at uni. I would sleep at uni when it was exam time.
Yeah.
I would just like 2 or 3 days in a row, dude. Just I would pack clothes for uni, right? And I would like go into like the study areas where the security guards would be too lazy to patrol. Just put up like all the what do you call it? The lounges in one big line and just like sleep there for like 4 hours, get back up, study again. You know what I mean? Like that was just. But I enjoyed that kind of stuff back then.
I feel like uni is fun for networking.
Yeah, 100%.
And all these things. But like they throughout uni they always say with my degree, it's a growing industry. Like people are hiring and everything. And when I go look for jobs right now, they're all saying, "Oh, you need at least 3 to 5 years of experience. You need, all these
like
things."
How?
And I'm just like, you say you're
it's
hiring?
That meme.
Yeah,
it's a meme now where it's like, you're 21 and they expect 23 years of experience on an entry level job. Like it's just ridiculous now. When you type in like entry level into any like job search thing and it's like 3 to 5 years.
Exactly.
I'm like, excuse me, that's not entry, dude.
But,
like
it's such a headache because like all the job searches I did, they're like, we want seniors, we want principals, we want like people with a lot of experience. And then I'm just like, there's at least 100 kids graduating per uni from this degree. And, what are we supposed to do?
Jobs in that area.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's just from that uni.
Yeah.
Let alone every other uni, On the topic of you being broke, I guess we should talk about the sponsor of this podcast today.
Oh, we have a sponsor?
Yeah, it'd be us. So we've started a Patreon. Well, if we have started a Patreon, it's going to be linked in the description below, right? Because Stickie here is
sponsor,
broke.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we're sponsored by the people, all right? So if you want to support us, if the thing is down there, bare minimum, like, subscribe. But if we do have the Patreon and you're willing to, and it's not going to put you out, just consider it. It will help this poor bitch get a job.
It's not gonna
make this will become your job. Maybe might not help you get a job.
It'll help me get a camera. That's not my phone.
Oh yeah. It might help you get a camera. Yeah.
And a microphone that's $5 from Kmart.
And maybe enough for a bus ticket.
That's true. It's getting expensive over Zoom.
Now. God damn. All right. I do have another topic. Seeing as we're kind of talking about money and stuff because of uni, but it's a bit old news now, but it's about Ryan Reynolds, the actor. So he was like, I don't know if he was an early investor or the company Mint Mobile had brought him on as like someone to like promote it, but also would have some part ownership in it. He was probably on that for like maybe a year or two, maybe 3 years. It was a very short time, right? But he got a lot of people to come over from like T-Mobile and all that kind of stuff in America to Mint Mobile because of like service provider issues and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like earlier this year, maybe a month ago, like Mint Mobile, obviously one of those, like him being a very large part of that company now, was sold to T-Mobile, which is what most people moved away from because of the services, right? And Ryan Reynolds puts out a tweet of like, it's gonna be business as usual. We're doing what's best for the people. Bullshit. Obviously, he doesn't care because
he's just getting paid.
Made $300 million possibly from that sale. That's at least is what I read. $300 million, man.
That's
It's
a
just
lot
like
of money.
that's so much money. But like that's the thing of like celebrities just sticking their name onto something
Yeah.
and like endorsing it, right? And like people will use that for like people to go over. It happened with like crypto.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like crypto.com, I'm pretty sure like effectively crashed after all that crypto shit happened
Yeah.
with, you know, the CoffeeZilla like talked about.
Yeah.
And like you had, was it Colin Kaepernick? No, it wasn't Colin Kaepernick. It was Tom Brady, I think. And Matt Damon, I think. They were like highly endorsing it, right? Like it's brave to take on crypto and da 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 da. Well, not so brave now, you know. Actually, no, you probably have to be more brave now to like stick it out.
Yeah.
You know, stick with the sinking ship type of thing. But it's just,
It's so unpredictable.
man, yeah. It's like I was talking to my partner about it, and like a lot of people have an issue with like when like celebrities will just stick their name onto a product and there's just no thought into it. Like I know Doja Cat like did something with makeup where she
Yeah,
just
it's. I was about to mention that like a lot of makeup with celebrities, they just like Morphe. They just stick
yeah
a celebrity's name onto a palette that they already have and sell
yeah
it
yeah
with like, oh, Doja Cat or whoever, and then
yeah
it'll be like a limited time edition stuff. But
and like
you know,
and then
like
it's just like
yeah, like
it's just nothing more. There's no value really
no,
added.
you're
It's
just
not like they
buying.
came up with the palette and
Yeah, it's
it's the same thing with like big brands like Disney and all that getting in on that kind of stuff where it's just like standard palette
yeah.
and they just put like stickers and
Yeah.
shit like there's nothing added, you know.
Like you know Rare Beauty, right?
I'm just gonna say yes, but I
Like
don't.
Selena Gomez.
Oh, okay, yeah,
She for one made her own like makeup line, Rihanna as well.
yeah, yeah. Fenty or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, yeah.
So like that's you can tell that there's a difference between actual celebrity makeup and just
And then just like
name
something
being
plastered on you,
yeah.
yeah. All right, all right, all right. Wait, was that your topic or mine? That I know that was mine that I brought.
Yeah.
All right, you're up, you're up.
We were kind of talking about education earlier with uni.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'd say, what about Australian education system since you've been in Australian schools?
See, my situation's a bit tricky, right? Because I went to like the state school for preschool,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went to one religious school
Mm.
for year 1 and 2, and then another religious school for years 3 to 12. So like, we have an Australian curriculum, which you know every school has to teach, but then when you have private schools, they can like
Teach whatever.
kind of well, no, not do whatever, but they can teach it to a certain degree and then put their things on top. So like my school, you had to do religious studies
Mm.
to get an OP school, which is like your graduating school, right? So your like your OP school would get you into uni, but if you didn't do religious studies, you couldn't get an OP, which means I had to drop a subject like physics for religious studies,
Yeah.
which is like
Mm.
I'd rather have just done physics, you know,
Yeah.
like I already had enough
So
exposure.
so you guys kind of have no choice with having to study religious studies.
That's with like that particular school. But when you go to the state schools, like the state school down the road from me was like the best school in the like whole area of like where we lived.
Yeah.
And like they were number one, a huge school. They had subjects that were like really ahead of their time, like robotics and all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for like kids to take. And they had like maybe 3 times the amount of subjects overall that kids could take with like less limitations for them to be able to go to uni and do what they wanted to do. That school was good, but like state schools in general can be kind of rough because I don't know if it's a culture thing in Australia. Maybe it's becoming more of an issue now as well, where like school is kind of used as like a babysitting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it used to be that like teachers were an extension of your parents.
Yeah.
In the way that like you would have to treat them with like respect and authority and listen to them and da 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 da. But now it just feels like, kids can get away with anything.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if they misbehave, there's no real consequences. Like, even if they do stuff that's illegal, man. Like, there's people who like break into cars and stuff. Like, kids in neighborhoods close to mine, and they'll get arrested for like the night, maybe held, but they usually let go. No criminal record, nothing. There's nothing they can do, so they just keep on doing it. Like, they'll just go and ride off these cars and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I think the education system is probably at the moment geared towards like teaching to pass a test, rather than like teaching for like life skills.
So would you then kind of think why most, I wouldn't say just Australians, but a lot of schools with closed education system are a little bit more ignorant towards the rest of the world? Because me personally, I've met a lot of people who just go, "Oh, your English is so good. I thought you're from Thailand." Like,
Yeah.
well,
here's the
I'm
thing. I think it depends on the school, right? Because like, I know some schools that are like a little bit more inland, and it's a pretty homogenous group, right? They're like just like white Australians, and there's not much diversity in the school whatsoever.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, those students are probably a bit more like the experience that you've gone through. But the school that I went from like similar to that, mostly one type of like person attending the school with a sprinkling of color in there, right? And then by the time I got into year 12, it like completely flipped on its head, where it was like a super diverse school. So I went to school with like Filipinos, Malay people, Vietnamese, Koreans, a bunch of New Zealanders, a bunch of Islanders, some white. So like, I had a lot more exposure to like a bunch of different places.
I think that's where the ignorance kind of grew from, is the lack of exposure from other countries or like other cultures.
Yeah, I think it just depends on like what the students in the school are made up of. As in, like, you have like country that's like all the same.
Yeah, like I've moved school 3 times as well. I was in 3 different schools, and because in Thailand there's 2 types of schools. There's internationals and there's Thai schools. I was always in international schools.
Yeah.
And international schools, they're just like normal English schools. They teach everything in English. Thai people do
except how to say frappe, right?
Except for the fact that Thai citizens have to take Thai language class like every single year. But that beside the fact, everything is taught in American curriculum or British curriculums or anything.
Would you learn in British or in American?
I did both. So my first 2 schools was American. My last my high school where I graduated from was IB.
So International Baccalaureate or whatever it's called,
So the thing is that all throughout my whole life, right, I've met everyone from quite literally every single continent. And like, it's fucking incredible how many people you meet in these international schools, just because they're like foreigners coming to another country to try to learn something as well. Their family and parents like establish a company in that country, and so they want their kids to get education, blah blah blah. And you get to like meet so many cool people and cool families, and it's like, so like whenever I get asked, oh, your English is so good, I'm like, yeah, I went to an American school. Like, do you not think that they teach English in Singapore, in Thailand, in Japan? I don't know Japan, but
that's the thing. Like,
they do teach
in
English.
First year uni, right? I met like one of my best mates, and he's from Bangladesh, and they have like Canadian English schools there, or American English, depending on which school you went to. Like, so he's got that accent as well, where it's kind of like Canadian or like North American.
So like,
accent.
that's one of the problems my dad actually complained about. He sent me to an American school for more than half my life, and he goes, "Why do you speak American?" I'm like, "Dad, that's your fucking fault. You sent me to an American school."
Well, that's what happens when most of your time speaking with people in English is an American accent. That's what's gonna happen. Even me, right? Like, I grew up on a lot of American media, so I'll have like a little bit here and there that sounds American, and that's like when I like don't roll my R when I make it like a really strong R. I'm trying to avoid saying hard R. But when I say a strong R, that's like it comes through, right?
Yeah.
But like if I'm speaking to like an Aussie person, I'll just eat my vowels and like, you know, drop the like last letter and like water and all that kind of stuff. Like you
Like
just don't even
water.
say the R. Yeah, water. Yeah. Instead of water. You know, it's just
water,
like
water,
yeah.
water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. But like and then because Australian English is kind of like influenced by UK English, instead of saying like dance, which is like very Aussie, I would say like dance.
Yeah.
So because I had like a South African teacher growing up as well, and they speak like they were speaking more formal English, I would say.
Well, most
most
African English is influenced by the French, I thought.
I think it depends on where you're from, because you got like South Africa, which is like very Dutch influence.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one little part of Africa, I think. Some parts of Africa that are like Portuguese influence, and then other ones that are French influence, and then you've got the English and whatever they did, you know. But it just depends on where you're from. Like, I have like a bit of a hybridized accent as well, which makes it hard for people to like pick where I'm from. You know, I've had people from Malaysia say, "Hey, are you Malay?" And I was like, "I don't look anything like you, dude." Like, I get that there's Indian Malay people.
Yeah.
But that ain't me, dude. Look at me. I'm 6'2". What Indian Malay person do you know is 6'2", dude? Like, far out.
I get asked if I'm from, was it California? Apparently my
like
accent.
right now with your hair, dude.
Apparently my accent is
California
very
vibes.
Californian.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I think I've like there was 2 different people who asked me that. I'm like, no, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to bust your bubble.
Burst your bubbles. My God, you and your English. Like you add an S where there shouldn't be one. You take away one where there should be one. It's almost like you didn't go to.
Almost as if I didn't fucking graduate my high school in IB.
Wait, you didn't graduate?
No, I did. Fuck.
Oh, okay.
I said almost as if.
I was gonna say that explains so much, but it doesn't.
I write and read better than I speak.
Yeah, I think writing and reading is easier. Like speaking is tough because it's like 2 different parts of your brain to like understand
like
something.
A lot of
then,
the time, I have to translate it between 2 languages before I speak. Like if I can't think of anything, I'll be like, and then it just
you just stomached, yeah.
Yeah. It just
I
dies on.
get a similar thing because like my family speaks Hindi, right?
Yeah.
But I can understand like 80% of what they're saying. If I try and speak that shit, I cannot find the words in my brain. They don't exist when I'm trying to say it. But if I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, that obviously means that. Like but it's like, can these 2 regions of my brain fucking speak? Because obviously you know what the word is when you hear it. Just pass it over to this guy.
Yeah.
So he can say it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening for me though.
Oh, that reminds me. At my first school, there's this fucking teacher, genius teacher, fucking smart, right? He speaks 7 languages fluently. When he was speaking English one time, I forgot which kid it was, but he was like, "Why do you speak English in like a weird accent?" He's like, "When you speak 7 languages, come let me know." You know, I'm just like,
oh, just
bird.
slapped him with it, dude. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. I love watching videos of there's this guy. He goes to like Chinatown or China.
I think I know
right?
who you're talking
He's
about.
like Xiaomi or something like. He's
fluent,
a white dude. Yeah. But every single time it's like just like anime sound. Oh my God, that guy speaks perfect Chinese. Like, but then he started doing with other languages. So he's going around India now and like.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw some controversial, like little. It's not even like a controversial stuff, but it's like someone kept commenting below some of his you know, when he goes to tribes, like somewhere like small tribes and tries to learn their language and stuff, someone says he tries to learn basic words and say it like you know, like a very long, like he doesn't actually is fluent, because like his titles always say fluent, right? But they're like,
but
you're
he's
not
like
actually
stuttering on.
fluent. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you
maybe.
just they're
It's
like
just
you
it's
learn a
just
couple
to
words
like
and pretend you're fluent.
yeah.
Fake it till you
So
make
you
it.
can just say like 5 sentences and then you're like, yeah, I know
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's just like every kid.
You
who
watch
goes
10
to school.
animes and you're like, I know
Yeah, I speak
Japanese.
Japanese, dude. Yeah. Oh god, like every kid that says like baka.
Oh, you sassy
Yeah.
baka!
Yeah. Far,
Especially
fuck.
those Hero Academia people. They're like so love
Yeah,
it,
man.
but cringe
And
most
now
of
it's
the
like so
time.
popular to be into anime.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's now
but
like
I
a
remember I used to
yeah.
get bullied, yo, because I was in anime. I was that kid who
Yeah.
learned fucking the hand signs from Naruto, dude. I learned every single hand sign from
Oh my
Naruto.
god.
Way before it was cool to do that shit. And now I see TikToks of some dude
Yeah.
doing the hand signs at like 5 times speed, and people are like, this is gangster. It's got 23 million views. I'm like, God damn it, where was my praise when I needed it?
I feel like a lot of it nowadays is because a lot of like the attractive TikTok people are doing it, so they get away with it. It's like the Wednesday Addams dance, you know, like
Yeah. So many
because
people did
she did it and she's fucking gorgeous, and gorgeous
Yeah.
people are doing it on TikTok as a trend. They get away with it, but when old
Yeah.
people act like, you know, the people who are actually into these things do it, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, cringe, ew.
Oh, cringe, you just
Like,
copying it.
what
It's
the
like,
fuck?
no, homie, we did this first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
We brought this along.
like
Alright.
you can run because we wait.
Yeah, because we walked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were getting there. You were getting there.
I was gonna say
give
it, but
to
then
you.
I'm like, is that right? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Seeing as you're affiliated on Twitch.
With like fucking 62 followers.
With exactly 62 followers, you've done the bare minimum as usual to get affiliated.
And fucking
What do you
did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I didn't even get to affiliate because I was just like, this ain't for me, dude. This is not me. But what do you think about people going to kick.com?
Okay.
What's your...
I don't know much about it, but like if it works for them, it works for them, I guess.
So I'll give you the rundown of it. So do you know who Trainwreck is?
No.
So Trainwreck TV is like, he wasn't Twitch before, but he's like one of the major owners of kick.com.
Mm-hmm.
His main like streams was gambling streams. His main sponsor at the time was probably stake.com, I think, at the time. Stake.com is a very large part owner in kick.com, right? The difference with Kick and Twitch is kick.com gives you, I think, 90% of like your subs payout, and they take 10%, whereas like Twitch will take 30% and give you, oh no, they take 50% now, right? And you get 50%. Because of that, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I want to switch over to Kick. But Harris Heller made a really good point, and I think, oh, was it Harris Heller or was it Ludwig? It was like, the problem with Kick and TikTok and stuff like that is where live streaming and like content, most of Kick is like, the money doesn't come from the content creators. It comes from advertisers or like sponsors and stuff like that. With Kick, because like they're only taking 10%, there's no way they're making money off the content creators. They're betting on people coming in, watching gambling streams because it's stake.com, and like getting them trapped into gambling early. It's because they'll make that money back tenfold, like through all these people. And the problem is a lot of people are going over there and bringing young viewers over to look at these gambling streams. Whereas, it's not allowed on Twitch anymore. Or if it has to be a particular type of gambling, I guess, which is allowed on Twitch. But with Twitch, it used to be content creator driven. But now, since Amazon took over, it's going to be ads driven and sponsor driven and all that. So like it's less worth it. Whereas YouTube is always content creator driven, and then the AdSense is what you get money from, but it has to be through good content. So YouTube has been, I guess, lacking still in the live streaming space, but Twitch is still like where most people go for live streams. Like, I don't think many people moved over to YouTube in terms of viewership, moved over to YouTube when all those big streamers like Tim the Tapman and Myth and Valkyrie and all that were like, signing like big contracts.
Yeah.
Because the moment his contract ends, if they go to Twitch, they're just gonna leave again to Twitch. Like, but Kick, I think it's just there to like lure people into gambling, which I think is not gonna be great. And
Definitely not, especially with more young generations joining the platform.
Yeah.
Because it's like what I've made this comment before. It's like millennials and like the generation
Be
before.
careful what you say.
Yeah, I'm just like, we're still on the platform, but then there's a shit ton more
You're
people.
not a millennial.
No. I'm just saying that like the older generation is still on the platform when it started, and they're still on it. When at the same time, right now, younger generations are joining more into it. And so, like before, obviously, a lot of people can kind of get away with more things just because, like, not a lot of people can be tricked into, like, these scams. Where nowadays, it's a lot easier for younger generations to get tricked into these things that they say, oh, it's an investment. It's, you're one click away from winning something. It's a whole new type of email chain scam type thing, It's just changed to being TikTok instead of you want an iPhone. Click here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm sure like they're trying to get more like a new platform to get the new generation who's more naive and more like gullible to fall for these scams, like how the older generation fell for the email scams.
Yeah. Hey, you have an inheritance from this
The prince, yeah. So like I think I think people need to be a little bit more like on guard.
Aware.
Yeah, more aware. Like I see a lot of there was this one kind of not issue that was brought up earlier. It didn't go big or anything, but it was just like like those gemstone stuff that people sell. It's like the crystals, like crystal things, right?
Yeah.
So like there's some streams that they go on TikTok live with a bucket of like crystals, and they go, okay, for order 1, 2, 3, they swoop like whatever, put it in the bag and send it, right?
Yeah.
But like for some people who order it outside of the live stream, they might just put in random shit and you get scammed. Like that's an easy way to get scammed nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like
because just people are people are so more like easily influenced.
I feel like TikTok itself is a scam. Like I obviously did a video about this a while ago.
But it's great for exposure.
It's great for exposure
because a lot of people are
we're
on
gonna be
it.
using it.
Yeah, a lot of people are on it. But I just feel like there should be
live streaming. It's not worth it, dude. Especially if you're in Australia and the only way you make money is through live streaming on TikTok, and they take 80% of the gifted value.
Wait, wasn't there the recent drama with the TikTok live stream scam? So the dude would pre-record his live streams, get money from his viewers, pretend that it's alive. And keep getting money and then reusing the video every few months.
Is this the guy that I did my podcast with?
I don't know.
Is that the one?
I don't know. I think it's
Is it the guy who's stacking cards?
Oh yeah.
Is that the guy?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I did a podcast with him after I made like the, this guy's a scammer video.
Yeah, but
I did a podcast with him afterwards.
There's a new video that came out recently about it.
Well, what's happened is like, he told me all this a while back, but his account got stolen, right? So he had to make a new account.
Maybe that's what he's telling you.
Maybe. I think it actually did get stolen because he did start an actual new account. Because the reason I found him is because I did the video and then I saw him on TikTok again on a different account.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, aren't you this guy? And he's like, yeah, this happened. And I was like, let's do a video. And he was like open to talking about it. But
well, I guess he's back to scamming.
I know for sure, not saying him possibly, but definitely some people pre-record their videos, point a phone at a screen, and just play that shit on replay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty obvious when you look at it.
Pre-record, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the chat is reacting, but it's not the same as what's happening on the screen. But yeah, that's like a big scam that's happening at the moment as well. Just farming for like gifts and stuff like that. All right, last topic. What is it? You're on it.
Well, we're hitting an hour.
You want to just stop it there?
I mean, we could go for more, but then I'm also thinking that I could talk about this next time too.
Okay, we can do about it next time. It's all right. If it's not time sensitive, then it's all good. All right. I think for a first practice
run, or
maybe the first. It may be the first.
One,
yeah, legit one. Who knows? But I'm pretty happy with it.
I like it. I mean, like there was some flows to it. We kind of like moved topic naturally.
Yeah. I think not bad for the first one. Now we'll just see if people actually want to watch.
Yeah.
But this was Gaslight and Giggles. We're gonna be trying to put out some regular content, I guess. Hopefully these things goes well. Support us if you can. Like and subscribe. If we have a Patreon, and if it's not going to put you out, consider signing up. And we'll see you in the next one.